Hello, my name is Paul Defenbaugh, and my partner for this project is Joline Luecke. I will be doing the analysis on Anne of the Thousand Days, and I would like to start off by saying that firstly, this film is a historical fiction. It is based on a play, and thereby all the settings and costumings appear to be set for that stage. A lot of the dialogue is stiff and attempts to be Shakespearean while maintaining a proper English dialogue. Regarding the visual accuracy of the film Anne of the Thousand Days, because it is based upon a play, a lot of the costuming and sets and visual aspects of the film are framed to be as if they are a playwright production for an audience. Many of the costumes are overly bright in colors in order to be able to discern at a glance a character's profile and determine who they are just peripherally. For instance, the Archbishop Worley's costume is exceedingly bright red. I doubt very much in a historical sense that this is exactly how his outfit would have looked. Also, much of the sets are extraordinarily clean. The actors are once again idealized and extraordinarily beautiful, representing, youth, perfect hair. The costumes are extraordinarily clean for the time period that is being depicted. The sets themselves, if you look in the background, you see candles that are brand new. They haven't been used. There's no wax flowing down them. There's no cobwebs, no dirt. The horses are in excellent health. The saddles are painted and like brand new. Just much of the look seems to be quite crisp, overly saturated, and intending to bring about a pristine view of the past. Some of the aspects of aural accuracy, or the lack of, in Anne of the Thousand Days is that the music does not seem quite able to fit with the time period. I understand that the music was scored for the film directly, and that many of the instruments, while thematically correct, are not actually based on music of the time. Some of the other aural inconsistencies are the lack of accents, and the dialogue is at times stiff and does not seem like it is a normal conversation. Some of the chronological problems in Anne of the Thousand Days is from the beginning, the entire movie is a flashback. Right after the 2-minute introduction, everything takes place between him signing execution warrants as a flashback and then coming back to the execution warrants at the end of the film. So we're never truly seeing everything in the proper sequence of order. Also, Anne's pregnancy seems to come rather quickly. We never actually see her pregnant. She just is declared pregnant, then having a baby both times. And we never actually see a progression of the seasons. It always seems to be bright and sunny. There never seems to be a winter. And the weather always seems to be in the best possible condition for this film. Resolving the thematic issues within Anne of the Thousand Days, the main issue is that of ambition. Henry and Anne play off each other continually, escalating not necessarily out of a true need, but just that because they've been told no, they're going to work towards denying the other. It's a strange, I wouldn't say love affair. They're actively just angry with each other continually. I mean, Henry is denied, and because he's denied and told no, he's got to work against that and achieve it. And Anne, who had something taken away from her, wants revenge or to get satisfaction back, and so her ambition, leads her to manipulate Henry. And in the end, Anne's executed, and Henry is destroyed his reputation with the church. Even though he is now head of the Church of England, he's caused a great division. In conclusion, my analysis of Anne of the Thousand Days overall is a historical fiction that presents aspects of history with truth facts intermingled with a dramatic presentation. It makes no explicit claim to being true, but it implies it by referencing places, names, and people historically known. It makes a good effort trying to be educational about the ideas between Henry and Anne, but without having a precise dialogue capture of what went on historically between those two. We can only speculate at best how accurate the dialogue is.
Hi, my name is Joline Luecke. I am doing a project today with Paul Defenbaugh. We're doing project number 2, where we'll be comparing the 2 films, Anne of a Thousand Days and The Other Boleyn Girl. I'm going to be presenting the information on The Other Boleyn Girl. This film is a historical drama that was adapted from a novel written by Philippe Gregory. It's a fictional account of the 16th century aristocrats, Mary and Anne Boleyn. The drama featured some extravagant and entertaining moments, but critics believed it to be more of a soap opera than that of a film. They claimed it was lustful, scheming, and backstabbing, an overheated, twisted plot. The film tells a captivating tale of intrigue, romance, and betrayal, of 2 sisters driven by a very ambitious family to seduce the king in order to advance their position in court. The truth claim of the movie is implicit, being that it is implied to be in the 16th century. And it is filmed in England, and we know it's in England due to the fact that it's about the Boleyn sisters, who were with King Henry VIII. There were no direct statements in the beginning proclaiming that it was a true story. The visual aspects of the film and the accuracy was that the film was filmed in England. You can see the beautiful green landscape, rolling hills. The beginning and the end of the film took place in a beautiful golden colored wheat field. The castles and stone buildings looked to be that of the times. Scenes inside of the castle seemed to be filmed with the old furniture being the style of the 1500s. The bedrooms of the king and his women were grand scale with large wooden beds covered with wooden canopies. The costumes were beautiful and intricate, that of royalty for all the main characters. The women were wearing corsets. The colors were dark and rich for those in the palace. And the townspeople were dressed in plain gray, drab, plain clothes. The characters wore large rings with big jewels and large gold necklaces. And there were many horses in the film, and they were nicely groomed, muscular animals, those of the rich. There were herds of sheep in the pastures, and in many of the scenes that were outside of the castle, there were large dark red flags flying all around the English countryside. Orally, the dialogue seemed to be accurate of the times. Some of the characters did better with the English accents than others. I do think more of an accent would have been heard back in the day. The music sounded majestic and royal. You could hear horses running, and sheep in the pastures, birds in the background. One of the scenes, Mary is riding a horse, and you could hear the horse running through the babbling spring, water splashing. The scenes with the town people, the people were angry, yelling and screaming because they were mad. So I felt that they did a very good job on that. Chronologically, there were no seasons changing. The years just seemed to pass by. You could tell the years were passing by due to the fact that the babies were being born or miscarried by the different women in King Henry's life. No one seemed to age or change, except for the beginning and ending scenes. This opening scene represented the Boleyn children, the three of them playing in the field, and the parents were walking alongside and talking about the plans of who they were to be betrothed to. The children seemed to be about 4 or 5 years of age. Throughout the movie, the parents never did age. And then the film actually most of the film takes place when the children are old enough to marry, and that's where the whole storyline is. But years pass and no changes to any of the characters. Thematically, the characters in the movie seem to be that of the people of the times, and they were doing the things I would have thought they would be doing. Historically, it didn't seem correct according to what I had read and after watching Anne of 1,000 Days. So it was kind of hard to see what the director was trying to portray. The movie had a lot of twists and turns. It was really a lot about the family problems of the Boleyn family, how the father and the uncle would stop at nothing to gain wealth and prestige in the court and gain what they could by using the two girls. Even in the end, it showed that his two children had been beheaded because of what he had done. Anne is portrayed as having no limits. She will do whatever it takes to get Henry, and one of the scenes shows that after her miscarriage, she begged her brother George to sleep with her so she could become pregnant and not tell Henry that she had lost the baby. A red flag to me in the movie was how Mary could just come and go as she pleased. She seemed to gad about the castle however she wanted. In the end, when she was trying to beg for her sister's life, she was able to just get to Henry and no one else could. So that just didn't seem right. Historically, it seemed like what I had read, she was not even at the palace at the time when her siblings had died, because she had been sent away for marrying a man beneath her standards, and she was told she could never come back to the court. In conclusion, I felt that the film historically stated the best explicit truth claims in the end. It told of how Sir Thomas Boleyn, the father, died 2 years after his children had been beheaded, wretched and disgraced from all of his actions. The Duke of Norfolk, the uncle, was later imprisoned, and the next 3 generations of his family were also executed for treason. Henry's decision to break away from the Catholic Church changed the face of England forever. Mary married William Stafford and lived happily with him away from the court until she died years later. And one of the most interesting things to me is that Henry's fear of leaving England with a successor was unfounded. His redheaded daughter, Anne, Elizabeth, reigned for over 45 years in England and did what he always hoped that a son could do.
In conclusion, comparing the two films against one another, both films have merit, but both films also have flaws. Anne of the 1,000 Days was filmed and derived from a play which, while trying to be historically accurate, is more designed for entertainment. The costumes were overly flamboyant and not period correct, and neither was the dialogue, and stage settings. And as Joline points out in her analysis of the other Boylan Girl, there were characters in situations where they would not have been historically present, and certain characters had access to sets and moments when they should not have been there. A lot of the costuming was good, but neither film can declare themselves 100% accurate.